where your loyalty is. So, and then motion applies to.
Yeah.
I think the dollars and cents.
You know, I mean, look, we found, as a graduate student, I found Cincinnati. I came there as a later career rabbi. And I found Cincinnati to be a really good place to study. We could go anywhere in the country. I had a student called me in Pueblo, Colorado for 2 years.
Sure.
You have to have clear walkway. Time to start. Ready? Are you ready? Wow, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. What a beautiful congregation we have. And you know what? We even have the third graders who are going to help us with so many parts of this service. Tonight's service is done when it's warm in here and it's bitterly cold outside. So we want to welcome all of you to the sanctuary, and we also want to welcome you who are joining us online for this service too. I'm not sure where you all are, but I hope it's warmer than outside our sanctuary at this very moment. But this Shabbat, this is a day of joy and merriment and family, as we have here as well. The family of the Temple Beth El community, the families of our third graders, and others who are with us tonight as well. So sit back and relax and sing. Use your voices. Cantor.
So I'm going to ask for our friends here to help me a little bit with, as we start to welcome Shabbat and to say Shabbat Shalom to each other. So I wonder, can everyone, I need you all to say a certain phrase that we're going to need to help us to welcome Shabbat, to say Shabbat Shalom to each other. Can everybody try saying Chiri Biri Bim?
Chiri Biri Bim.
Oh, that was so good. Let's try one more. Let's try Chiri Biri Bam.
Chiri Biri Bam.
Oh, you all are so great. Okay. Now, later in the song, there's going to be a spot where I'm going to say Chiri Bim, and I'm going to ask you all to say Chiri Bam. So we practice that. Chiri Bim.
Chiri Bam.
Now the opposite. Chiri Bam.
Chiri Bim.
Oh, you all are great. All right, so.
We're on page 5, by the way, of the
Page 5
dream
in
that
our
you
prayer
have.
books. I hope you all, everyone who needs one, has a copy of our Shabbalala prayer book.
And if you're with us online, there's a link in the video description that will take you to a copy of our prayer book. You can follow right along.
When I sing Lecha Dodi, you will sing Chiri Biri Bim. And when I sing Likrat Kala, you will sing Chiri Biri Bam. Lecha Dodi,
Chiri Biri Bim.
Likrat Kala,
Chiri Biri Bam.
Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Chiri Biri 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 Bim, Chiri Bim,
Chiri Bam.
Chiri Bam,
Chiri Bim. Chiri
Bim
Bim.
Bam, Bim Bam, Bim Bam, Chiri Bam,
Chiri Bim.
Chiri Bim,
Chiri Bam.
Chiri Bim Bam, Bim Bam Bam, Oi Chiri Biri Biri Bim Bam Bam, Oi Chiri Biri Biri Bim Bam Bam, Oi Chiri Biri Biri Bim Bam Bam, Chiri Bim Bam Bim Bam Bam, Oi Chiri Biri Biri Bim Bam Bam, Oi Chiri Biri Biri Bim Bam Bam, Oi Chiri Biri Biri Bim Bam Bam, Chiri Bim Bam Bim Bam Bam. When I sing Shabbat Shalom, you will sing
Chiri Biri Bim.
So good. And when I sing to everyone, you will sing
Chiri Biri Bam.
Shabbat Shalom
Chiri biri bim,
to everyone.
chiri biri bum.
Shabbat Shalom to everyone. Chiri biri 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 bim. Chiri bim.
Chiri bum,
Chiri bam.
chiri bim, chiri
Bim
bim
bam bim bam bim bam. Chiri bam.
chiri bim,
Chiri bim.
chiri bum, chiri
Bim
bim
bam
bum.
bim bam bam. Oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam. Oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam. Oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam. Chiri bim 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 bam. Hey, oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam. Oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam. Oi chiri biri biri bim bam bam. Chiri bim 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 bam.
Everybody sang so well. I think it's going to get even better as the service goes on. So that's a challenge for all of us, right? To let those voices come out. Shabbat is a time of rest. Shabbat is a time of joy and celebration. I want everyone to look around the community for a minute. I want you to find a face of someone whom you don't know. Maybe they're in the row in back of you or the row in front of you. Take a moment to say Shabbat Shalom to the people around you, because this is our congregation tonight. Join one another in welcoming people to our sanctuary, welcoming Shabbat to our community as we continue to mold our community. And we have such a nice sized community tonight here, despite the weather. So what a beautiful thing. I want to invite up to our candle table here the family of Anushka Ninaid, who next week will come to our bima as a bat mitzvah, but they are here to help us say the blessings over the candles. And I think that the third graders...
I'd like to invite our
right?
third grade friends to come up around me, and
Here.
I'll make some room for you all on this other side of me over here. If anyone wants to come up over kind of in this area, and we'll help, once they light the candles, we'll help say the
So
blessing.
tonight, if you
Let's
let's
watch.
watch these things here, read this paragraph and that paragraph, and have all, at the same time have one of you light the candles. So we have lighters or matches, whatever you need. Okay.
Wait for them to light the candles. Okay.
This is not in the prayer book, but this is simply our own invocation of this Shabbat day.
Who can look directly into the light? We can behold only a small portion, a fragment of the light. And when that one light is fragmented, the colors of the rainbow result. So let us give thanks for all the colors that are ours. All of them are part of the one light we're all bathed in. The one light that is our fountain of our life. Yes?
Blessed is the match consumed in kneading flame. Blessed is the flame that burns in the secret fastness of the heart. Blessed are the hearts with strength to stop their beating for honor's sake. Blessed is the match consumed in kindling flame.
Ready, friends? Baruch atah. Oh, we need to do it way lower, friends. Let's do it here. That's going to be much more comfy. Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat, Blessed are you who commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat, One of the things about Shabbat is that we welcome so much light into our community on this day. The day is dark now, but we welcome the lights of Shabbat
which help warm and illuminate our own hearts. On page 6 is Or Zarua. Please join us for more singing and more rejoicing for the light that causes us righteousness and brings us goodness. Page 6, Or Zarua.
Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai. Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. U'Yishrei Lev Simcha. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai.
And on page 7, you find the words find the words where it says Lecha Dodi, and we're starting right below there where it says Boi Kala. Come, O bride of Shabbat, have a good visit with us on this Shabbat.
Boi Kala,
Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nekavela. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Pnei Shabbat Nekavela. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Boi Kala, Boi Kala. I want to invite our third graders now to join us again.
back up, friend.
It is so wonderful when we have our religious school students to help us lead tefillah, to help us lead in worship. So please give them your attention. We give them our honor and we give them our gratitude for being with us this afternoon and this evening. So some of them came here as early as 3 o'clock to participate in fun activities. But now we enter a time of prayer. We enter a moment of understanding that prayer is for all ages, prayer is for all situations, and prayer can express so many emotions. We'd like to invite the congregation to rise for Baruch Hu, transitioning into the Shema, which will begin on page 7 in our Sidurim, toward the bottom, page 7.
Yada lai lai lai, 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 lai lai, yada lai 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 lai lai.
Top of page 8.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem Kivod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed.
Everyone but our third grade friends can take a seat.
In this week's Torah, third grade friends, stay with us. This week, in this week's Torah portion, we read the Song of the Sea in this week's Torah portion in Bishalach. And so it is so wonderful to have now the part of our tefillah, the part of our worship, where we thank God for the miracle of freedom. And if you turn to page 9, I think in your Siddur, this is the song. This is our Micha Mocha moment for tonight.
So I guess actually,
Yeah.
maybe I had folks sit down a little bit too soon.
Oh.
We're standing at the
Well,
sea.
you know, maybe they are. Well, if you want to stand and be at the sea with us, you can do that too. And you can follow our third graders as they lead you in some of the bodily things that the Israelites were going through when they were going out for freedom, when they were leaving Egypt for freedom, standing at the sea.
Standing at the sea, Micha Mocha, standing at the sea, Micha Mocha, standing at the sea, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. Singing and dancing, Micha Mocha, we're singing and dancing, Micha Mocha, we're singing and dancing, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, freedom, freedom. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way.
They're coming from behind.
Micha Mocha, they're coming up behind. Micha Mocha, they're coming up behind. Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. We're bound no more. Micha Mocha, bound no more. Micha Mocha, bound no more. Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. The sea she parts, Micha Mocha, the sea she parts, Micha Mocha, the sea she parts, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. We're walking through the water, Micha Mocha, we're walking through the water, Micha Mocha, we're walking through the water, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way. We're on the other side, Micha Mocha, we're on the other side, Micha Mocha, we're on the other side, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. One God, Micha Mocha, one God, Micha Mocha, one God, Micha Mocha, freedom's on our way. Freedom, 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 freedom's on our way.
Congregation, may be seated. The third graders remain with us up here. They're going to continue to lead us in prayer. We're so
You're
grateful.
going to help us
Thank
get
you.
ready for quiet prayer, friends.
I want to invite you to, at the right below the standing at the sea is our next offering of prayer called Open My Eyes.
So when we are turning into our own hearts and thinking about the prayers that we might be offering inside, it takes a little bit of preparation, a little bit of getting our hearts open and our eyes open and our hands open to those words that we want to share inside our hearts. So our friends are going to help us get ready for that quiet prayer. Open my eyes to truth. Open my hands to give freely. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. Open my eyes to truth. Open my hands to give freely. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. We keep our hands on our hearts as we say Adonai Sifatai. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. Adonai. Adonai Sifatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Open my lips to good words, to pure words. Open my heart to love. Our friends can go back to their seats and we'll continue offering words from our hearts.
This is a time of quiet prayer. And you may hear people breathe. You may hear small children utter the prayers that they have in their hearts, which is to be free. So we continue our own personal prayer at this time for a few moments. For those who'd like to follow along, we're on page 10, toward the top.
Say shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu.
Ose shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Ose shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol yoshvei tevel. Useh shalom bimromav, uyaseh shalom aleinu. We do not understand how God is involved exactly in the process of healing and bringing wholeness to people's lives. But for someone who is ill, for someone who needs the prayers of a community, when they know that a community such as ours is praying on their behalf, that lightens their burden, that allows them to use the healing powers that God has placed within us all and continue their own healing process. So no, that's one of the reasons that we say a prayer for healing. We hope that God is involved somehow. We hope that God brings healing. We hope that God brings wholeness to the places that need it. And yet we too are very important parts of that whole circle of care. There are about 80 or so people on our Temple Bethel healing list at this time. There may also be people who are in your hearts, people who need prayers of healing and wholeness. And now we take a few moments to hear from you. If you would like to offer prayers on behalf of a particular individual or a group of people whom you know about, we invite you to offer their names here in this community. Please don't feel obligated to share, but we want to invite you to do so and to add the names of your loved ones to people who are already on our healing list. And so I'll just ask you to call out names, and if I look in your direction and you haven't called out your name, please be sure to do that as well. But those of you who would like to offer names, please, now you're welcome to do that.
Nancy Katz, Dennis Berman.
Harav Miriam Bat David Ve'anat. Ruth Greenbaum. Are there others we should be thinking about on this night? Dear God, aloud and in our hearts, we name those facing illness and pain. And we share our prayers to the prayers of all who love them. On page 11, On page 11, at the middle of the page, we continue with Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor habracha le'imotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishe Berach imotenu mikor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
No. Off, right? That was a technical moment to make sure that we had all of our mics working correctly. Because now what we want to do, because we meet here in this community at 6 o'clock on the first Friday of each month, and we welcome a group of people to come to worship with us, but to also share some simchas. By the way, I've often wondered how you translate the word simcha. And maybe even for our third graders who might know or who may be willing to learn from other people, how do you translate the word simcha? Do you know? Simcha. What's a simcha? And it's not a car. I'll tell you that much. It's not a car. How would you define the word simcha? Anybody? I'm chomping at the bit here, going to run to your microphone.
Joy.
It's joy. A simcha is a moment of joy, a time of joy, a time of celebration. So I want to ask everybody here to take just a few moments and think what joyous thing is happening now or happened to you recently that you might want to share. And you get a chance to share on the microphone. So, because we all want to share, and for the benefit of the people joining us online, for the benefit of people who might be using our T-coil system so they can hear our audio system if they have a hearing device. That's why we use microphones especially, but also to amplify what we say. So what moments of joy are you experiencing in these days, in this period of time? Oh, let's see. I see one here and way in the back. Okay.
I got admitted to UW-Madison.
Yes. Not an easy feat for people who go to school here. We come way over here. Yes.
Me and my brother got good report cards.
All right. A good applaud for that. Good report cards. Who else would like to offer a simcha? Oh, let's go over here. Okay.
My family is here from Rapid City, South Dakota, and elsewhere, Buffalo, New York, and Whitewood, to celebrate the bat mitzvah. Our granddaughter is becoming bat mitzvah tomorrow.
Fantastic. That in itself is a simcha, but I'm going to let our community deal with that maybe tomorrow and later on tonight when we come. We love having B'nai Mitzvah in our congregation, so thank you for being with us tonight, Gabby, and tomorrow we welcome you as B'nai Mitzvah to our Bima, so that is marvelous. I saw one here again, and then we'll go over there.
It is Anushka's birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Anushka. All right.
I get to perform at District Solon Ensemble Festival.
What do you do in that?
I'm doing an ensemble with my best friend.
On the?
Trombone.
On the trombone, thank you. Oh, all right, on the trombone. Other good simchas. Oh, here's a simcha person.
I'm really enjoying all the snow, because we didn't
Hear
get
that?
that much last year, and I'm hopeful that we'll get about this much next year as well.
So we are thankful and joyful about the snow. Some of us are. Any other simchas? Yes.
I have a magic car that likes snow.
All right, a magic car that likes snow. What can you say to that? That is awesome. That's awesome. Any other simchas? Well, thank you all. We are so glad. I know that there are probably more, but there are people who are maybe a little shy about sharing, but we want to offer this very important Shehechianu, a prayer to allow us to give thanks for having arrived to this moment in itself. So we sing Shehechianu. That is at the bottom of page 10 in your Sidurim, I believe.
For giving us life and for bringing us to a joyous moment.
Amen.
Baruch atah
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kiyamanu v'higianu azman hazeh Got to find the middle place here. Okay, I think we got the middle.
I think it's the middle.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
We want to offer a little story. And some of you might know this story, and some of you might not. So if you know it, don't give away the secret.
Don't give it away.
Right. Ready?
Ready.
All right. The magnificent temple in Jerusalem, that's the Jerusalem temple of our ancient people's history, was built twice and destroyed twice as well by others. But it was the site of celebrations and sacrifices and gatherings of our ancient Israelite people.
But long before this Beit HaMikdash, temple, Beit HaMikdash,
Thank you. Good job.
before it was built, the mountain upon which the temple was constructed was a place of tall, barren rocks that divided the land of families, family of farmers. And it was there that the value of family love provided the motivation for establishing the temple in this house of God.
So there once were two siblings, a brother and a sister, who lived and farmed on the site. And between their farms, there were these very tall and barren rocks where Jerusalem would eventually be. The brother was married and had a large family and was the planter of wheat and rye, crops that would grow for much of the year. The sister was single and had no family for whom to be responsible, but she too was very successful in her work, providing wheat and rye for the region.
Because their crops were so hardy, their farming operations took place the whole year, and they had little time to rest. Sadly, they had even less time to see each other. They were so far away from each other. They couldn't even see each other as brother and sister. They lived and they worked on their individual farms on the land on the opposite sides of that rocky hill that separated them both.
One year, when the harvest time arrived, each, the brother and the sister, were blessed with beautifully bountiful crops. And they each piled up their grain for long-term storage and got it ready to bring to market. Big piles.
The sister, observing her good fortune and the abundance of her crop, thought to herself that God blessed her with more than what she needed. She was single and had very few family responsibilities. She had had enough for all. She further reasoned that her brother, who had a large family, could surely use more of the grain to sell in the market in order to feed all of the mouths of his large family.
And at that very same moment, the brother had a similar thought. Observing his good fortune and the abundance of his crops, he thought to himself that he had ample help in harvesting the crops with all the members of his family joining in, and that all of that brought a very large bounty of crops. He then reasoned that his sister, all alone on her farm, could not possibly harvest all of the crops that grew. And he knew that she'd be unable to bring all of that yield to the market. At least that's what he thought. She could sure use the grain because she hadn't been able to harvest it all, he thought.
Each sibling had love and a little bit of worry for the other. What could be done?
So, one very dark night, the moon was nowhere to be seen. The brother arose in the dark hours before morning and filled up a large sack with a large amount of grain, trudged it over his shoulder, and took it over the mountain to his sister's farm, secretly placed the grain on her piles of wheat and rye, and then quietly traveled back to his own farm.
That very same dark night, the sister arose in the dark hours before morning and took a large amount of her grain, trudged it over the mountain to her brother's farm, secretly placed the grain on his piles of wheat and rye, and then quietly traveled back to her own farm.
Now, when the morning came and each was filled with the love of their sibling, they went out to their stockpiles of grain, and they noticed that despite their generosity, it had the same amount of grain, and each pile was the same size. Their crops had not diminished.
They were very confused and thinking they were each having a dream of generosity without fulfilling this deed. They each repeated the bringing of the grain the next night and the next night, but still the next morning there was the same amount. Oh, yeah. Hold on.
It was very dark. You couldn't see very well.
There was the same amount of grain on both sides. This just did not seem right, and they vowed to do it again and again and again.
Now, this went on for 7 nights, each unknowingly giving and receiving their siblings' grain. But on the 8th night, one of the siblings left a few moments later than they had originally planned, and that slight change of plans caused them to bump into one another in the darkness.
In that instant, while lying on the ground, well, and nursing their bruised arms.
Yes.
They realized what they had been doing, what has been going on for the last 7 nights. And each one began to glow in family love. Their affection lit up the mountain sky. They each understood what the other had been doing, and they fell into a wonderful family embrace.
Now, according to the legend, when God saw that display of family love, God decided that this would be the very spot where the temple would be built, on top of these very tall rocks in the middle of this very large farmland.
Now, in other versions of the story, it was the Israelites themselves who, based on the transmission of this story of family love, chose this site for the building of a house of God.
Now, we today can demonstrate the same values of love and sharing within families and between families. And that's what life is all about. So as you go out into the world, think about others in your family, and think about others who are part of your friendship circle, and even those who may not yet be part of your friendship circle, because they too will be able to benefit from all the goodness that you have in your hearts.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. We would like to invite the community now for a few moments to turn in your Sidurim on page 12, to page 12. Because now in our community, it is our opportunity to remember those people who have gone from our world, people who are not any longer part of our lives, even though they continue still to live in our hearts. And it's those people whose blessings continue to shower us even though they are no longer alive. We stand on their shoulders. We are allowed to see farther because of what they have accomplished. We are about to honor those people in our memories, those who passed away in recent days and those who passed away at this season in years past. If you are here tonight in mourning or remembering a loved one, we invite you to rise when the name of that loved one is recited. And then eventually we as a whole community will join one another as we say the mourner's Kaddish. But these are those whom we are remembering at this time. The recent losses in our community or connected to members of our community are Bernard Kaufman and Arlene Winch. And those whose Yahrzeit occur at this time, the anniversary of their passing, we remember Ruth Berman, Igor Bleicher, Theodore Borsky, Fanny Friend, David Goldenberg, Alan Hubbard, Shelley Kleinbaum, Anna Krasno, Louis Crystal, Dee Leek, Eleanor Levin, Max Levin, Anna Levy, Edward Libber, Henry Libber, Jesse Malofsky, Charles Marks, John H. Morrison, Linda Preisler, Jerome M. Roth, Lillian R. Roth, Jeff Sauer, Morris Siegel, Sue Sweet, James Vandenberg, Irving Yaffe, Dorothy Zimmerman, and Amy Zolot. We also remember innocent Israelis and Palestinians who have died in recent acts of terror. There may be other members of this worship community who are remembering loved ones, and if there is someone whom you are remembering and would like to share your loved one's name with us as we say the Kaddish, as we prepare to say the Kaddish, we invite you to do so. Others we should be remembering tonight. Zichronam livracha, which means may their memories be blessings in our hearts and the hearts and minds of all those who knew and loved them. Testifying to the faith that binds the generations of humanity together, we now invite one another to join one another in the recitation of the Mourner's Kaddish here on page 12. We invite the community to rise, and we say together, Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon, uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shemei Rabbah mevarach le'alam ulalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha berichu. Le'ela min kol bir chata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama Rabbah min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru. Amen. May God send peace to all who mourn and comfort those who are in remembering people tonight. And let us say, Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. So as you probably can tell, our service is nearing its conclusion. We have a few more things to do, one of which is to offer some important announcements. First of all, thank you to the third grade who were here tonight leading us in worship, who were here in the afternoon celebrating pre-Shabbat Kef, which means fun in English. And so we're so glad you all had a chance to be with us. Thank you to our faculty members who were with us. Thank you to Mrs. Jar, our Director of Lifelong Learning. Thank you to Cantor Jacob for helping lead some of the third graders who were in prayer this afternoon and in prayer tonight, all of us. Thank you. And thank you to all who came out tonight. I want to also, again, remind people that tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m., we are here to celebrate Gabi Barsuto, who is coming to the Bima as B'nai Mitzvah. So we are so glad that you are with us, Gabi and family. We'll see you tomorrow morning, if not before then. So, let's see. We want to thank Irina and Yefim Shklar, sorry, I hope I pronounced it right, in honor of their granddaughters, Anushka, becoming Bat Mitzvah next week. So thank you all very much for your hospitality here in the sanctuary, not in the sanctuary, but in the Weinstein Community Court before services. I'm not sure if it's still there, but we have a pre-on, it's still? Okay, so please take something on your way out, but that's such a nice thing. Tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, there will be Torah study, both in person and online, we hope, led by Stephen Olson. Last week we had a power failure, so we had some shifting of things here in the building. And at 10:30 in the morning, we have services wherein Gabi Barsuto will come to the Bima as B'nai Mitzvah. We're so glad that that's going to happen. Next Friday evening, at 7:30 p.m., we have Sisterhood Shabbat, and not only will our Sisterhood members work with us to be in charge of the worship next Friday evening, but also they've invited Tanya Atkinson, who is the president and CEO of Planned Parenthood of Wisconsin, to make a presentation to our community about the current situation in dealing with reproductive freedom in our state and in our nation. So please join us for that. That's again here at 7:30 in person or online also that we're streaming next Friday evening. And next Saturday, our Torah study will be led by Kendra Sager. And at 10:30 in the morning, that's when Anushka Ninaid will come to the Bima as Bat Mitzvah as well. So thank you. And I think we want to remind people of the following. So this is in relation to Purim. We are getting ready to start celebrating Purim. I know it's a month away, can you believe? But last night we had our first table read of our Purim spiel, the Shushan Bride. It's loosely based upon the Princess Bride. Some of you might be familiar with that piece of art. But please join us for participating in the spiel, in offering sections of the Megillat Esther, the scroll of Esther, which we have little sections throughout the...
One or two slots available.
They're going fast. They're going fast. Only one or two are available. So Please be with us for that. And if you would like to be in the spiel, contact me. If you'd like to help us with offering those 1 or 2 sections of the Esther scroll, be in touch with Cantor Jacob.
3 to 6 verses.
Yeah, easy.
You'll have lots of support.
Easy stuff. Anything else we should be announcing? Oh, Sunday is Tu B'Shvat. Celebrate Sunday's Tu B'Shvat. Monday is Tu B'Shvat. We'll be observing Tu B'Shvat. Our young families will be having a special Tu B'Shvat experience at 12 noon here in the building, I believe. And at 3 o'clock online on Zoom, we will be celebrating the community's observance of Tu B'Shvat.
Earlier in the day during religious school, we're having a shira, a song session where we're going to sing all the Tu B'Shvat songs. All of them.
So now, what we would like to do is we would like to invite everybody to sort of be with the folks who brought you. If you brought yourself, you can be with us here in the front. And if you brought, or if you were brought by family members, now it's time to be with family members, just for a few moments. Because now is the time for family blessing. Cantor?
So there's a custom that some follow in their homes on Shabbat evening where parents might bless their little ones. Now, in our congregation here, we like to take this as an opportunity for us all to bless each other. All of us, here as community, we have the ability to bless each other with peace. There are ways that you might change the words depending on who you're blessing, but for now, for us, we're going to use these words the way that they show up in the Torah. So when we get to the Hebrew, but I want everyone to look down. I think it's like toward the bottom of the page where it says, or maybe the middle, where it says, "For all of us blessing each other." And all you have to do, friends, all you have to do is repeat after me. So we're going to all bless each other. May God bless you.
May God bless you.
May God keep you.
May God keep you.
Shine light on you.
Shine light on you.
Help you find peace.
Help you find peace.
May God watch you.
May God watch you.
And stay with you.
And stay with you.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
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 All right, we're going to try the Hebrew, friends. Repeating after me again still. Yivarechecha.
Yivarechecha.
Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
Ya'er Adonai.
Ya'er Adonai.
Panav elecha vichuneka.
Panav elecha vichuneka.
Isa Adonai.
Isa Adonai.
Panav elecha.
Panav elecha.
Yasem lecha.
Yasem lecha.
Shalom.
Shalom.
May God bless you.
May God bless you.
May God keep you.
May God keep you.
Shine light on you.
Shine light on you.
Help you find peace.
Help you find peace.
May God watch you.
May God watch you.
And stay with you.
And stay with you.
Forever and ever.
Forever and ever.
Amen.
Amen. And for the final part of our service, we want to invite Anushka and her family to join us up at the Kiddush table, and to also have our third grade students join us at the Kiddush table as well, as we offer blessings of joy and thanks and gratitude to God for giving us the fruit of the vine and bread from the earth.
I think we
So
should have
everybody
enough.
should take a little cup. We're trusting you guys. You're the first religious school class whom we say now can hold a cup of juice and not spill any. So
We're still using white grape juice, though.
it is white, so that really helps a lot. And let's see. You're keeping the lid on it? That's a smart idea.
And for
and
anybody
Mrs.
who
Starr, you
needs
should take
words,
one of
they'll
those
be
cups
on page
and
14
give the
when we
cancer
get
the
there.
other one.
Oh, thank you.
And we're on page 14, where we offer the Kiddush. Who would like to offer the Kiddush from your family? And we'll all really sing it together, but you all are on microphone, so. Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
And you can put your cups just on the tray there or on this table would be great.
So, tray would be good if you can.
And now also we have motzi. We have a beautiful challah here. Some of it has been cut and others not. So if someone from your family offers motzi, then we can all say motzi and then begin Shabbat together in the community court.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Cheery, beery, very, bim, bam, bim, 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 bam. Bim, 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 bam. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shabbat
Shalom. Shabbat shalom, everybody.
Friends.